In this lecture, we are going to look at a simple solution for including files. We are going to be creating over 30 PHP files. This means we are going to be including each file with PHP. In your editor, open the index.php file. Under the include section, we will be running the include function 30 times. This part of the course may get repetitive. To speed things up, we should try automatically including files with globs. Glob sounds like a funny word, I know, but it's a real concept. The word glob is short for global. This feature is available in most programming languages. It's a feature for helping us search for files within a directory. PHP supports globs. We can start using it right away. In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to a function called glob. PHP will allow us to use this feature with a simple function. You can read through the documentation for the various values you can pass into the function. Let's give it a try to help us include files. In your editor, open the index.php file. Under the include section, define a variable called root files. The value for this variable will be the glob function. The glob function will return an array of files found. To be clear, it'll return paths. It's not going to include the files in the index.php file. After retrieving these paths, we will loop through the array to include the files one by one. Inside this function, we must provide a pattern. The pattern will tell PHP how to search for files. In this case, we should tell PHP to search for files inside the includes directory. Let's pass in the following path: up plugin directory dot includes slash asterisk dot php. We are using the constant defined in our plugin for pointing to the plugins directory. Next, we are pointing to the includes directory. Lastly, we're telling the glob extension to search for PHP files. We can have various PHP files. It would be tedious to type each name. The name can be replaced with an asterisk character. This character will tell the tool to select any PHP files. It's a wildcard character. After creating this variable, let's print it with the printr function. Typically, variables can be echoed. However, arrays and objects are treated differently with the echo statement. We may not be able to view the contents of a variable if it's an array. Therefore, we can use a special function for viewing an array's contents called printr. In the browser, let's refresh the home page. At the top of the page, we will be able to view the array. The registerblocks.php file was successfully found. In each array item, a full path is given to a file. However, we're missing the files from subdirectories. To resolve this issue, we need to create another array. Head back to the editor. Under the root files array, create another array called subdirectory files. The value for this variable will be the glob function. The path will be the following: up plugin directory dot includes slash asterisk asterisk slash asterisk dot php. We are using another set of wildcard characters for directories. This pattern should allow the glob tool to find all PHP files within any directory. Let's update the printr function to output the subdirectory files variable. Next, let's refresh the page. As you can see, the files from the includes/blocks directory were found. Perfect. Let's head back to the editor. To make our life easier, these arrays should be merged. Otherwise, we would need to perform 2 loops for each array. I'd rather work with a single array. Create one more variable called allFiles. The value for this variable will be the arrayMerge function. The arrayMerge function will merge 2 arrays. We can pass them in as arguments. Let's pass in the root files and subdirectory files arrays. Next, let's remove the printr function. We don't need to view the array data anymore. After removing the printr function, let's create a loop with the for-each statement. Inside the for-each statement, pass in the following values. All files as file name. The file name variable will represent each item in the array. As a reminder, the full path is included with the file name. We don't need to prefix the paths as we've been doing thus far. Inside the block, let's run the include_once function with the file name variable. I'm introducing a new function for including files called include_once. It's possible that we may include duplicate files. PHP may complain if we include the same file twice. It shouldn't happen, but bugs can be introduced. To avoid this error, we can swap the include function with the include_once function. This function will check if a file has already been included. If it has, PHP will not include the file again. It's a very helpful function for including files at least once. After adding this function, the other include functions can be safely removed. By automatically including files, we can skip the step of writing the include function to add a file. This is going to boost our productivity. Let's refresh the home page. The page should not produce errors. If it hasn't for you, you can consider the solution a success. Just to make sure, let's try viewing a page that has a block with server-side rendering. In the header, let's try performing a search. On this page, we have the custom search form. As you can see, it's fully functional. Perfect. We've successfully auto-included files. In this lecture, I introduced a new function for including files. PHP has another set of functions for adding files called require and require_once. These functions perform the same action as the include function. However, if a file can't be found, a fatal error is thrown. There are two types of errors you may encounter in PHP. Warnings are the first type of error. These errors will add a message to the document, but they will not stop the script from running. If you have additional PHP code, it will be executed after the warning has been displayed. Fatal errors are the second type of error. If a fatal error occurs, the PHP script will stop running. It doesn't matter if you have additional PHP code. The rest of the script will not execute. The include functions are considered safer for files that aren't urgent. If you want WordPress to stop running entirely, you should try using the require function. In most cases, the include functions are more than suitable for a plugin. We shouldn't interrupt WordPress unless we have to.